Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on the video today. Today, we're going to be talking about Xpeng stock. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So, today, we're going to be talking about Xpeng stock. Is Xpeng stock a buy at $47.31? Do you think Xpeng is worth doing the investment, and the recent news surrounding Xpeng stock? So if you guys don't know what Xpeng stock actually is, Xpeng is another EV company that happens to be based out of China. Right, this thing just recently IPO'd, guys. So taking a look at the 5-year chart, guys, this thing IPO'd August 26th of 2020. Fairly new company, guys, already up 104%. It's seen a lot of growth recently, and that probably just has a lot to do with the accelerating growth of the EV market in itself. EV market generally has more demand, and a lot of people are starting to notice these EV companies. Now, there is a lot of EV companies out there that are starting to IPO, and it's making investors really confused on which companies are worth the investment and which companies are not. You guys have to realize that there can be multiple winners in an EV industry, guys. Take for the simple example of the general car manufacturer, right? If you guys take a look at the brands worldwide, we have Dodge, we have Ford, we have Nissan, Toyota. There's so many brands out there that sell different types of cars. They're all very successful. Yes, some are more successful than others, but yet again, they're all successful. And I believe it's going to be the same thing when it comes to a bunch of these EV companies, especially when it comes to Xpeng. Yes, I am super bullish on Tesla and NIO. Those are probably like the top two EV companies. But guys, I am not counting out Xpeng stock. I do think Xpeng does have a lot to offer, and I do think Xpeng is going to be a top EV company. Now, why do I say this? One, like I said, guys, there's always more room than just for one winner, right? There can always be more than one winner, guys. It doesn't have to be a single EV company that's roaming around. Yes, do I think NIO is going to be successful? Absolutely. Do I think Xpeng is also going to be successful? Yes, I actually do. I think Xpeng is worth the buy at $47.31. Today, we did get some good news, guys. Xpeng actually did get a buy rating and a sell rating, right? So the buy rating was from a gentleman at Deutsche Bank. He rates the stock a buy at $56, while the other analyst puts the stock at $26. I think some of these analysts do want to get in a little bit cheaper. But for me, the reason why I'm super bullish on Xpeng, and the reason why I think Xpeng is actually worth the investment, is because, like I said, guys, the EV market is just generally growing faster and faster, and there's just simply more demand. Xpeng being based out of China, I mean, they're already expecting 20% of all EV sales, guys, to be EV cars by 2025, and they're expecting that number to jump to 50% by 2035, leaving room for Xpeng to be a dominant player in the game. Tesla has just started expanding to China, and they're selling a lot of vehicles there. Yes, Tesla is going to be a hard competition because Tesla is a very well-established brand. It did not start like that at first, guys. You have to understand that it took Tesla a long time to grow, but that doesn't mean there isn't room for more than just one EV company. NIO and Xpeng both are going to offer some solid competition. Xpeng, from my knowledge, currently offers two vehicles, guys. It's the G3, which is an SUV, and then the P7 as well. Right, and that is a sedan to compete with the Tesla Model 3 and NIO's sedan as well. And you guys have to take in consideration that while the Xpeng has actually been growing, if you guys have actually taken a look at their delivery estimates, right, Xpeng has actually been selling a decent amount of cars for a company that just IPO'd this year. It's got a lot of good guidance, and just like I said, guys, generally speaking, this company is starting to get noticed a lot more. As you guys have seen it before, you know, this thing did go on a wild ride, guys. Looking at the 3-month chart, it is up 129%, guys. Yes, we have a tip here, right? This thing was almost $72 at one point. It's just crazy to think that this stock was so high. It has kind of been on the downward spiral lately. But you guys have to understand that it's not just Xpeng that's been taking kind of a hit. It's a lot of EV companies that have been taking kind of hit because people are really mixed about where they should be evaluating these top EV companies and these EV companies in general. Even Tesla, guys. You know, Tesla has a $600 billion market cap. It's expanding like crazy. It's a huge company, and people still question to this day whether the stock is worth $60 or it's worth $1,000. So you're always going to have the speculative interests when it comes to these EV companies, right? You always have people who are on seriously opposite sides of the spectrum. There's generally no middle ground when it comes to these EV companies. And that's okay, because with EV companies, it's a little bit different. There are so many of them that IPO'd this year, guys. You know, there's Hyliion stock, there's Xpeng. There's so many EV companies that are coming out of the game because everyone wants a piece of the EV pie. People know that this company or these companies are going to be making a lot of money in the next couple decades, right? It's an industry that people are kind of looking towards. And with the accelerated growth of the EV market in itself and the overall EV industry, this is making a lot of people start to look at these EV stocks and consider which one of these stocks is actually a good buy. For me, guys, I think Xpeng is a buy at $47.31. Obviously, everything I say in my videos, guys, is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but I think people should take the time to invest in Xpeng stock because I do see the exponential growth in this company. Like I said, guys, time and time again, they have vehicles already made. They're growing like crazy, just like a lot of these other EV companies. And with the rapid growth of EV demand in China, right, Tesla spreading there, we also have NIO, and the generally growing sales of EV cars and the production of EV in general. Guys, it is a very good idea to start picking up these stocks because right now they're actually pretty cheap for the amount of potential that these stocks have to grow over the years, guys. These things are still very, very cheap. Like I said, if you guys bought Tesla at $50, you guys would have made a lot of money. For me, there's a lot of EV companies out there, guys, that a lot of people are endorsing. For me, I endorse Xpeng. I think Xpeng is worth the investment. Yes, do I see anything from Xpeng in the short term? Probably not, but they are growing, guys, and they are putting themselves on the radar. It is a company you guys should take in consideration, and you should never count out any EV company. For me, I think Xpeng is a good buy right now. I think people should start opening their eyes to Xpeng stock a little bit more and see that this company does have the potential as well to be the next Tesla and a dominant player in the EV game in China, guys. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of Xpeng stock. Do you think Xpeng stock is worth a buy at $47.31? Do you guys think that Xpeng is going to be a dominant player in the EV game? If you guys own Xpeng stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.